Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. Hello, and in today's video, I am going to be attempting to draw with a mouse. I needed something quick and easy. We're honesty is the best policy, and honesty is here today. And honesty is, I didn't come up with an idea till Thursday, and I hated every second of when I drew it on Thursday, so I put it off till Friday. I'm smart. Okay, so that is why I'm doing this. I also wanted to make a more formal announcement than more than just on my Discord. I'm in Art Fight. My link's in the description. I'm on Team Fossil because I love rocks. I know I seem like a Team Crystal because I'm purple, but I like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are cool and rad. We love dinosaurs here. Okay, so onto the actual video. So for this first drawing, I decided to draw my OC Stella, our D&D character, whatever. She's basically everything. The first time I drew her, she looked wrong, and I didn't like the outfit I gave her. The second time I drew her in the outfit she's currently wearing in the campaign, or at least part of it. I haven't fully designed the outfit yet. In the second part of the campaign I'm in with her, that's Nightmare on Elm Street. I hated that one. The third and final sketch I did on Friday at around 1. There we go. That's the time it was. I also mirrored it because I'm gonna be completely honest. I was not one of those digital artists who learned how to draw off a mouse because you couldn't afford a tablet. I used my mom's old shitty iPhone. So drawing a mouse is a foreign and frustrating thing. So I sketched it with my hand, and then I just completed and did all the rendering with my mouse. So it didn't look cartoonishly bad, even though, so it didn't look too cartoonishly bad, because I didn't want to be accused of doing it really bad on purpose. I promise I just don't know how to draw with a mouse. Okay, so for the sketch, I went through a bunch of poses. I didn't want to do anything too complicated because I didn't want to have to draw it with a mouse. That ended up biting me in the ass because Stella has these muscle-like markings that are made out of gold. Definitely bit me in the ass because I was not able to fully draw that with a mouse, and so I had to half-ass it, which I was not very fond of. But I got through it. I survived, and I lived, and I'm here. And the next thing is the next thing I did was, oh shit, that's the wrong tab. The next thing I did for this was, or after I was done doing the base sketch, I did my, it's kind of line art, kind of not line art. It's not, I wouldn't completely constitute it as line art. It's just the black outline I do before I start rendering. But it's kind of messy, but not too messy because I like using the lasso tool with minimum pain. And that's, I did that with the mouse and all the rendering with the mouse, which, by the way, I know whenever my model opens its mouth, it looks like I'm smiling. I want to assure you, it was very painful to do a sketch with a mouse, even if I was drawing over something. Sucky assy, painful. Those are my synonyms for the mouse side. The hand side was actually quite nice. I made the outfit kind of based on like cottagecore or Howl's Moving Castle. I didn't really have too much. I just kind of went on Pinterest because this is just kind of a nice happy little challenge video. I just wanted to do something simple after drawing a comic in 24 hours because Jesus Christ, was that something. Definitely not fun, funky, or fresh. Okay, it was a little fun. I like challenging myself. I like doing time crunches. They're kind of fun, but not real. Like they're like an okay amount of fun. They also make amazing thumbnails. I digress. I rendered this how I normally render. Rendering Stella's skin is always a interesting thing for me to do because she's this very pale, like yellowy tone. But I have to make it rendered like she's in depth, but not like she's alive, which is different because Stella doesn't have blood vessels or veins or anything like that. So I can't use my capillary trick on her. So I have to make her look in depth and still feel like she has emotion, without like putting on real like. It's like it's red, blue, and yellow, and you like overlay it on your drawings of people, and it helps them look more alive because it's like mapping out the actual capillaries and stuff underneath living people's skin. And Stella's not alive; she's a living doll. She doesn't have capillaries, so I don't add that. So I have to add a lot of depth, and it's kind of anyway. She does have painted on blush though. That's like in this orangey color, so I made sure to add that. But that was as much as I got, and the eye makeup. Because of course she has eye makeup because she's my cutesy pink OC, but instead of pink it's orange. Okay. For everything else I did was pretty run of the mill. I just slowly built up from a dark brown to the skin color that she has. It's how I like to render my characters, is to start darker and to go lighter. I've learned with the blending style I generally do, it is a lot easier to start from your lowest and get to your higher points. It might be different depending on the what you're doing and how you're rendering it. I used to go to my lightest point and then render to my darkest when I was first starting out this channel, because of the way I render, but now I render completely differently from back then, so it's a different process. The next so I start like with the hair, I'll start like at like an auburny color, and then I'll bring it up to an orange, and then I'll bring it up to this orange I use, and then I add in the yellow highlights, which I never do quite well when I actually render it. This doesn't look like it has the yellow highlights it should, which kind of bothers me that somehow the mouse version looks better in that department than the one I did with my hands, because I messed up the mouse. I mean the color, man. I'm sad. Not too sad, but enough sad to be a little sad. But after I do all that, I add in the highlights. I add in my highlights, and then for Stella, I already rendered in the gold, but the way I do gold, her gold pieces, is I start with brown. Gold loves brown. Brown loves gold. Dark gold is just brown. And brown loves gold. So I start with that, and then I build on the yellowy color, and then I build on a lighter yellow color, and then I add an add layer with a lighter yellow, and it makes it look like the gold is all pretty and shiny. And I do that. I also added on the same layer hair highlights because I realized I didn't make the hair as dimensional as I would have liked. So I added in some highlights and some shadow. For the colors, for the outfit, I kind of just did basic colors. I wanted her to have this cute little yellow summer dress because that's what the Pinterest photo showed me. So I was like, well, cute summer dress, potato, yellow. See you tomorrow. Peace. Okay, I had to do that at least once. I leaned back. So, yeah, that's what I did for the mouse version. I basically did the same thing. I gave myself thicker line art because thicker line art has forgiveness than thinner line art, or line art, or like basically cleanup sketch. It has a little bit more forgiveness because I needed forgiveness. My mouse kept on like glitching out on me, and then I realized for some reason my desk hates mouses. It hates computer mice. There we go. And it kept on glitching out on me, and then I was doing it on my little chair, and it worked out nicer than doing it on the desk, and then I put a paper on the desk and it worked. And the line art is, or not the line art, well, I'll call it line art for the sake of me not over explaining why I don't like line art, but I like this way of doing it because I don't care too much about it. Which is, it's okay. It's just really wobbly and kind of wonky because it wasn't really exact. The rendering is where the pain begins. I could not for the life of me create any depth, and it was starting to make me like irritated. And so, because I kept on adding the shadows, and I was color picking off of the other one, and the colors were off for some reason, and I had to like edit the colors like in post a second time to make them look like the actual colors. And then I added in the gold muscle like lines, which look really bad. But I kind of just gave up on that because I was like, I'm not doing that with a mouse. That's as good as it's getting. So that's as good as it got. I also, I couldn't get any depth with this. It's okay, like for a mouse challenge, but I still don't exactly love it because there's no depth. There's no like nice, like, it just doesn't look there's no depth to it, and I love like drawing faces and stuff, and like the spaces in between the gold pieces with depth, and there's just no depth on this, and it makes me sad. But it was my mouse challenge, which I also wrote the word mouse with my hand, which doesn't look too terribly different from when I wrote hand with my hand, which says a lot about my handwriting. Yeah, my handwriting's trash. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this video. Follow me on ArtFight. I'm gonna try to attack as many people as possible. I do have a job, or I do have a new job. So, don't guarantee that I'm gonna be like jumping out with like 10 artworks a day, but you know, a person can dream. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, you should like and subscribe. And if you want me to attack you on ArtFight, follow me. I will put you on my list. I may not get to you, but I'll try. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.